Hey guys, it's Dan from learningcameras.com, and I want to take a look at a couple of straps. I really hate the straps that come with the camera that hang around your neck. Anybody who's used a little bit heavier camera, this is even just a 7D, and this gets heavy without the battery grip. But put a battery grip, two batteries in there, a nice big lens on that, and you're really looking at a very heavy system, just way too much that you can support on your neck and shoulder. So, when I first started out, my journey led me to look for a strap that mounted around your shoulder and slung the camera along the side. I really liked the way that held the camera. It took basically all the strain away from my neck, stopped pulling it down, and took it a little bit more and put it on my shoulder. And I really liked the functionality of that. However, there are straps and there are straps, and we're going to take a look at a couple different ones in my journey through finding a strap and maybe a happy medium that you can find yourself at. And I'll post links to these straps too. Well, some of them I'm not going to recommend for you, so I won't post links to that one. But basically, when you have a heavy camera like this, you need some way comfortable to carry this with you throughout the entire day. Now, at first, like many people, I went for the cheap option. So let's try out the cheap option and see how that works. And the cheap option was, it was this strap right here. And it's called a quick strap, and I believe I bought it off of eBay. And it was, I think, right around that $25, $30 mark, so it still wasn't super cheap, but it's very cheap for this type of strap that you get. Now, a couple things happened to me on this one. The first one is that the retaining clip that held on the thing that actually screws into your camera, the retaining clip fell off. So now that piece is constantly gone, and I always have to find it, and right now I can't even find it right now. So that was something that I had to deal with for a little while at first. Now, as far as the actual build of the strap, it felt pretty good. You have a nice clip on here, a solid plate, has a little bit of a rubberized thing on the top of it here to keep from scratching your camera. So all in all, it seemed pretty heavy duty. The strap was very heavy duty, and it seemed to offer a lot of the functionality that some of the higher end ones did, and it just wore around your shoulder like this and right around here and took the weight off of your neck, and it definitely succeeded in doing that. Now, the first time I took this into a wedding, the strap broke on me. The clip completely fell off, and my camera was about this close from actually hitting the floor, and I managed to catch it at just the last minute. So already in there, my unwillingness to spend a little bit more, like $70, $80, and trying to spend $25 almost cost me about $2,000 immediately. And that's something to really consider, is when you're going for these lower end products, you have to keep in mind that you're putting a very high end camera on this. You might be putting a camera as expensive. Luckily, I didn't have like a 5D3 with a 70 to 200 on it, or else it probably would have hit the floor and I wouldn't have caught it. It had a 7D on it and a smaller, lighter lens, like a 24 to 70, and I was able to catch it just in time. So, but that's one of the risks that you run when you're doing this. So my problem was actually holding this strap on here. Now, since then, I've actually tied it 3 times, and sometimes I'll hang a backup camera. I'll use like a T3i or as a backup, or maybe I'll take my 7D with a very lightweight lens without the battery grip and use as a backup camera when I'm shooting. And something that if it hit the floor, I probably wouldn't care as much. And then I just double and triple tied it all. Sometimes I tape it off. And I really need to graduate from this and just buy another good strap, because once again, I'm still talking about putting $1,500 on the end of this, and it has failed. So I'm going to encourage you to really watch how you spend your money. Now, the second one, after that, I had to go for the best. So I bought the R Sport, and this is the Black Rapid straps. Very, very popular. They've been around for a little while now, and they have a bunch of different designs. So this is the R Sport one, and I definitely like this strap. It gave me a little bit more of a contour. You can see that it has kind of a contour that goes around your shoulder, and I do have a full review on this, so I'll put the link up for that so you can check out this strap. And overall, this strap has functioned extremely well for me. Very solid strap. There's some downsides that I would say to it. The only thing that I don't like to it is that at the very bottom, this is the base that screws into your camera, and I do wish that it had a little larger diameter on this, because it really I just get worried that this could easily get quite a bit of stress on it and start to pull out of the camera, especially if you're using a battery grip that might not be from the manufacturer. Some of these grips are plastic instead of metal. If you're using a lower end camera, you got plastic all around it. So I really get a little bit concerned that I'm going to stress out the bottom of the camera. Not necessarily the tripod plate, but the plastic around the tripod plate. Because the tripod, the actual connection for the tripod, even on these, is fully metal and fully threaded on that. But it's plastic all around here. So, if you really torque it, you might crack that a little bit, and that could weaken it and possibly even knock the camera out. So I've never had that happen. I've never heard of that happening. It's just the only thing that I kind of wish was a little bit better. But this base right here is rubberized and solid metal, and so it screws in very firmly into the camera and really lends itself to a good amount of just very solid feeling. Unfortunately, you're talking about almost $80 for a strap like this, and this one does have something called a joey, which wraps around your arm. I don't typically use it with that. I pulled it off. Luckily, it has a little clip. I don't find that I need to for my shooting. And maybe if you're going bike riding or something like that, it would help you out. So that is available for something like that. But I prefer the contoured shape of the sport strap versus their RS7, which is their normal strap. It doesn't kind of walk around your neck quite as much. So I knew I love this strap. I knew I wanted the quality of this strap. I just didn't want the price of this strap. So that led me to this, and it's called Focus, and I'll try and find a link and put this on so you can check it out yourself. It really has that same contour that you're finding on the higher end Black Rapid strap, and it even has that joey piece that allows you to strap onto something else. And overall, the plastic on these clips just felt a lot better and really felt like it was going to last in a different way. And the clips at the bottom are almost completely identical. You can hardly find a difference on this, and a complete rotation 360 degrees, and it has the clips on there. You can see in my Black Rapid, you can see how this type of thing functions in the Black Rapid review that I did for that strap. But overall, I've had great functionality out of this without the high cost. So this is something to me that is kind of an in-between, where you're not dealing with your cheap straps. It's something a little higher end, a little higher quality, but gives you the same functionality as the big guy. So, if you're starting out and this is a strap and you really don't want to invest all that money in straps, or you're not sure if you're going to like this type of strap or use it that often, this is a great strap to buy. So far, it's worked very well for me. I've taken it on quite a few weddings, actually. It's held up extremely well. And on this strap, I normally hold a 5D Mark III 70 and 200 lens. Very heavy system with battery grips and double batteries and everything like that. So I've really kind of stressed it out maybe a little bit more than you will, unless you're carrying like a 1DX or something like that. But for most people, this has really held up to all the pressure that I put on it. And it gives you that same exact functionality without paying the extremely high price of the Black Rapid. However, I will stress again that this is not that strap. This is kind of a lower end name. I don't know how reliable they're going to be over the long term. I don't know how they're going to stand behind their product if you were to have an accident. How Black Rapid probably will, because they're so popular in the photographer community. So if you want to take my lesson that I've learned from my cameras, go ahead and get yourself a decent strap. Don't waste your money on the cheap stuff. That stuff is going to break on you. You're talking about losing $1,000 on a camera like that on something like that. And I've had it go on me, so be very careful. Make sure that you get something decent. Make sure it's a high-grade strap. If you want to save a little bit money, this is a great no-name strap that's out there that's going to give you good quality at a little bit less. Otherwise, man, that Black Rapid is going to be well worth the money. Something that's going to hold your camera. Something that's going to hold 5-6 pounds of camera without a problem. I swing it on me all day long at a wedding. Don't even worry about it anymore. It took a little while to get used to that, but now I don't even worry about it. So a good solid system. You should check it out, and I'll have all those links. You can check them out at learningcameras.com too, and we'll keep posting these reviews on these straps as we get them in and kind of as my experience grows. But definitely take my advice. Don't buy the cheap straps. I don't like the neck straps either, so I would definitely stay away from that and go to a decent quality strap for your expensive camera gear.